Welcome to my Christmas 2026 trip, where we'll be going from the Bunya Mountains to Cania Gorge and then all the way to 1770 Agnes waters. This trip is really about having fun with my photography, so it'll be interesting to see the images that I get from it. So come along as we explore these regions. At the moment, we've just spent the night at the Bunya Mountains out at Burton's Well, and we've just done a little bit of a walk up to Mount Kyangro, and then yesterday we did Russell Park. And so as we trip around, we'll get to see some beautiful landscapes, interesting trees, plants, and also, some of my wildlife photos on the way. So as we walk along through the rainforest, we're really going to be shooting in kind of the lower light conditions. So I tend to start my shutter speed a bit lower at about 200th of a second, and then my aperture is wide open or almost wide open. So for me that's f4 or 5.6, and then my ISO fluctuates depending on how much light there is. So when we look further down in here, we may be looking at about 4,000 to 5,000 ISO, whereas when we get out into this more open area, that's where we can probably reduce that ISO and get a bit of a cleaner image. But it really depends on where the birds are going to be sitting and what perches they land on, and that's when we choose to go higher or lower with our ISO. So we'll keep that in mind as we continue this walk. Here we've found a yellow robin, and it's feeding a little fledgling, and so it's darting back and forth looking for food, and that's giving it a good opportunity for them to land on opportunistic perches that look really good. So in here we've got a whole lot of straggly vines, but there's a couple of perches that will turn out really well if they land, and when they're going and feeding multiple times, we'll actually start to see them land on the branches that we're wanting if we stick here long enough. So fingers crossed. So I got a couple of cute clips. One thing that is actually very difficult about this spot is we are on a bit of a hill, but we're going to keep on going because we're heading to Auburn Falls today. Alright, we are at Auburn Falls. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me, but we've got Auburn River Falls right behind us. And last time I was here, we were able to get to the other side, but this time there's a bit too much water for that. But what we have seen on the way down, we have seen some brush-tailed rock wallabies, and we've also seen some skinks. And then also, I think we might have actually seen a Burton skink as well. And we do have a bird flying in the distance, which that will be interesting to find out what that one is, because there are known to be some peregrine falcons that live here. And if we can get one of those, that'll be pretty fantastic. So we're gonna keep on heading around and see what else we can find. Well, it is the next morning and we're just about to head back down to the creek. We've had a very relaxed morning and can't wait to see what today holds. Hopefully some photos of the wallabies. Unfortunately, we came up stumps with the rock wallaby, but we did get to see the rock formations in a slightly different way, with the water had just receded a bit, and so there was some really cool landscape opportunities. But onwards we are going to Cania, and so onwards and upwards. Alrighty, we have arrived at Cania Gorge and we've just set up camp, and now we're starting our first bushwalk. We're here at the Bigfoot. This is our first stop, and it was only a 50-meter duck away from the path, so we thought we'd hit that up. And we can see up on the top here the markings of quite a large foot, hence the name. You can tell it's a Bigfoot because of the way it is. But we are going to Fern Tree Gully and then also Giant's Chair, so that should be really interesting, so come along for the journey. So we just stopped here, we've gained a little bit of elevation, and we got a fair few small birds in the trees. They were kind of hiding behind a lot of sticks, but it was good to get a couple of more species. And we did, on the trek up, we also saw a lizard, and he posed very nicely on a bit of a rock. And I'm interested to see how those images turn out, because I tried some with the larger f-stop and some with the smaller f-stop, and got closer further away, and he was really kind of lenient for me to do that, so we'll see how those images come out. So, but we'll keep on trekking. So we're just walking up Fern Tree Gully, and we've come across some giant snails, well, just the shell. And so down here we've got quite a recent shell and an older shell, and then when we look around, a whole bunch more. So pretty cool. Keep going. Well, that was a nice little chance encounter with that little kangaroo mother and her joey, but we're kind of on a mission to get to the Giant's Chair, so we'll keep going. So we're making our way along to the Giant's Chair, but we've come across this really interesting rock formation, and it's just got water dripping down and creating all this interesting rock. Alright, well, what an ending. The sun comes out and it was a great walk up the tree gully. Now it's just another 900 meters to the bottom, and that's where we're going to be camping. So what an awesome sunset. This walk has been pretty awesome, that's for sure. Alright, let's finish this walk. So we've just come back down from the Tree Fern Gully walk, and now it's time to take the past couple of days, the footage, which is on these CF Express cards, and then I transfer them using my tablet. Tomorrow morning we're going to be heading around Cania Gorge for a couple more walks, and that's going to be really nice. So we'll cut to tomorrow morning. So woke up this morning to a chorus of bird sounds and the cicadas going off now. We've just packed up and we're about to head to the walks. Right, well, we have just started on this walk and we've got the lovely gorge right next to us and the cicadas are going off. It's pretty awesome. Alrighty, well, we're here at the Gorge Lookout, and where we can see is over towards where we climbed yesterday. And so we went up this gully, Tree Fern Gully, up along the ridge, and then back here to the Giant's Chair, and then all the way back down. And so we were looking back at this little cliff the other day. So now we're going to be heading to the cave. So we're going to head back down this track and hopefully see some cool dripping water or something along those lines. Well, we made it to the cave. It was really interesting. It kind of ducks in a little bit, and then you're able to stand up on the inside. And there's a fair few cool moths in there, and then also there was a skink that was running around. One thing that I'm really loving about these walks is the skinks that are along the way, and there's been quite a variety of them, and they've been hiding in all these little cracks here. Oh, there's one right. There's actually one right there. Oh, so getting those skinks in and quite a cool little environmental shot has been really neat. That was really cool. So we're coming along the path and we see a pied currawong with a large kind of almost leaves and then like a little bit of red as well, and he flew off the first time. We caught back up to him and it turned out to be, I think it was a stick insect, and it was bright green, and then underneath the wings was this bright red, and he was just having a good old munch. He was trying to wedge it on a bit of bark, you know, just so I can pull out the insides, and so it was really cool to see that behaviour, and he stood on a branch, and it ended up being some really cool shots. There was a couple of sticks in the way, but that's alright. That was a really cool behaviour to capture, and that was just along this path here. We've arrived at Dragon Cave. This one is much larger than the previous one, and there's some really interesting colours all the way through the rocks, and you know, I found this little spider a bit interesting. But yeah, really cool. The ground is quite dusty. So whenever you step, yeah, a bit of dust comes up, but it's alright.
You just brought your small camera out today, eh?
Yeah, that's alright. I'll leave my big one at home. So we've just made a bit of a trek up to two-story cave. We've just come down from the entrance down here. Being a little bit quiet just because we can hear a few bats around making a couple of sounds, and hopefully you can hear that. Yeah, amazing. That was something special. That was to see them here. That was really cool. We made sure to use the light in the lowest setting, and we tried to just leave the disturbance as minimal as possible. Now we're heading back to the car park. Well, we just stumbled upon, it was along the walking track, but we just came into this little crevice, and you can see all the way up there, and then all the way at the top. Look at the colour that's there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm good. And on that note, we're gonna finish up that bit of the walk. We're gonna be onto Agnes waters. That's gonna be our next stop. But Cania Gorge, it does seem like a must visit. So that was fantastic. Alright, well, we have arrived at Gorge National Park, and we've camped the evening. A bit of a rough road coming in, but it made it a little bit more fun. And but overnight we got absolutely hammered with midges, and it hasn't probably been the most enjoyable night, but we're just gonna have a little bit of a wander around and see what we can find this morning before heading off to our next campsite. So we're on our way out from Gorge National Park, and we're back on the road. So this is kind of what we're looking at, and so we're going to go into Agnes waters, and we're going to see if we can get some antihistamines just to kind of relieve some of the itching from these midges, and then we're probably going to check out some rainbow bee eater nests. Alrighty, well, we just went down to Workman's Beach to look for some rainbow bee eaters. That's it behind me, and hopefully you can hear me over the cicadas because they're quite deafening. No rainbow bee eaters, not sure if it's the right season, but we've got 2 more locations we're going to check out, and hopefully we come up trumps then. Well, we are perched up here, ready for some rainbow bee eater action. We've gone for a bit of a swim and relax in the middle of the day. And I've just seen a pheasant trickle over there, so that's pretty cool. But we are mainly here after the rainbow bee eaters, and so they've got a colony here, and I'm really looking to take some backlit shots. And there's a really nice dark overhang behind, so that should look quite nice. So I'm sunscreened up, and I'm ready to sit facing the sun. So not the most enjoyable, but some of the photos that come out of it should be all right if I can get them in the right spot. So here's to try to get some photos. So we have changed to the shaded side, so where we were shooting towards, now we're going to be shooting with the sun to our back, and potentially getting some green background behind the rainbow bee eaters. And we've got over here, there's some kangaroos over there joining us for the afternoon shoot. So let's try and get some more photos. Well, that brings us to the end of that. But what an awesome afternoon that was. We'll see if I come away with any images. There should be some if I crop a fair bit. We'll see. But it was a good afternoon of taking photos and a very enjoyable one. Well, I came back to the rainbow bee eaters this morning. I got some alright photos, but they were all pretty small in the frame, so I wanted to get something a bit larger, and I've had a bit more luck this morning, so well worth it. I guess one thing that's benefited me is the fact that I'm starting to learn a bit more about their behaviours and what they're doing, and being able to position myself in the right spot, so it's been helpful. That has ended time with the rainbow bee eaters. Got hopefully some really nice photos out of that little session, and it's a pretty cool little spot that they've chosen to make their burrow. We're probably going to be going back to where we stayed overnight, and there's a boardwalk there, so we'll have a look and see what birds are there, and hopefully not scratch too many of these midgy bites. We've been told that there's a boardwalk up the back of Traveller's Rest, and also some bee eaters here as well. Mike, who runs the place, he came around and started chatting to us, and there was someone that was really excited by the yellow robin that they have here. They've got a family of 8, I think they said. We've just got over the ridge. We've got a little pond as well, so it seems to be quite a good little spot, but we'll see how many photos we can get from here. Check out this guy. There's actually 2 of them. How cool is that? Amazing. I mean, it's good to see them not in a currawong's mouth, so that's at least something. We've been greeted by this little wasp, and it just is really interested in checking us out and hovering around us, which is pretty cool. We have been seeing a couple of insects on the trip, and actually just noticed this tree, which has so far 13 stick insects on it. So what a find! But check this out. 2 here. 1, 2. We've got another guy up here. There are heaps of stick insects. It's incredible. So there's the green ones, and then there's the brown ones as well. So I've never seen so many stick insects in the wild. We've come into deep water and we've had a lovely afternoon swimming in the water and some of the pools that are around, and just seeing some crabs at our feet. And we're just out looking for potential sightings for turtles, and that'll be a nice way to seal the day. But this is going to be the end of a bit of a travel vlog. We'll see how this one has progressed, and you're definitely going to be getting a fair bit of wind noise in this last bit, but yeah, I've enjoyed trying to, you know, capture my trip and show some really interesting stuff that we see. So yeah, really looking forward to the next ones that we do, and I hope you've enjoyed watching, and Happy New Year's, because this is 31st of December. So Happy New Year's to everyone, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the next year. Sorry, we'll see you in the new year.